If you were looking for a close basketball game outside the first quarter of the NBA Finals, or at least any close sporting event, you could have tuned into the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, which has been a little bit closer in score.
Brazil, Ecuador.
Could have tuned into Mexico versus Uruguay, which is a good 3-1 victory. But I can tell you that the NBA Finals after 2 games is a commanding 2-0 series lead to the defending champions, Golden State Warriors. Now, what to take away from this game? Well, Steph and Klay shot a little bit better, and them shooting a little bit better, as you can see, runs up the score a lot more. But it wasn't just Steph and Klay, because the Golden State team defense is unbelievable. And they were one of the best team defenses throughout the regular season. It's part of the reason they got to 73 wins in the first place. In addition to all that, I still don't know what LeBron James is supposed to do. When I look at LeBron's team, and I'm not trying to make excuses for LeBron James, but here's a guy who they put in the post in the first quarter, was working so efficiently, making him post up, play the 4. He was playing like kind of a power forward position, backing down guys like Draymond Green, backing down any of the mismatches you can find, especially when Klay would sometimes switch over to him when they were setting pick and rolls and screens. And that was working. But LeBron James grinding down the defense, taking 20 seconds off the shot clock to get 2 points, just doesn't cut it when they can come down and score 3 points in 2 seconds, or they can come down in transition, or they can score a quick 2 when the Cleveland defense isn't there. Francis, you watched games 1 and 2. You said the Warriors were going to win game 1 and 2 on their home court. The point differential is getting insane.
Yeah.
What do we take away going back to Cleveland?
So I think the morale is going to be hit a little bit, because I thought that Cleveland would have taking things a little closer in Game 2. I thought Game 1, Golden State were going to win. I stated from the start Golden State in 5 was my prediction, and now it looks like it may have came true, and I didn't put any money on it, which is all well and good, which really I wish I should. But the one thing that I did want to say from Game 1, a lot of bench points from Golden State. I mean, Steph and Klay were barely even in the game in terms of their how much they chipped in with their points. This game, they chipped in more. Do I think Golden State are playing well? I don't think they're playing as well as what we have seen, nowhere near as well as what we have seen. Cleveland are not playing as well as what they have done in the earlier season, so I'm still anticipating closer games 3 and 4 in Cleveland. I think Cleveland win the next game. I think that the Cavs really need to work out how to break down Golden State, because they have the case study. They're not doing anything similar to what OKC done. You mentioned LeBron James grinding down the defense, but all for them just to try and take a 2, which is efficient, sure, but not when you're playing against a team that consistently can drain threes and take that commanding lead early on. So I feel like I want to see some mismatches with Kevin Love, some more movement if LeBron James happens to move in and around the paint and drag them around the court, which he can do so well. And I did want to state one thing, right? It's whether it's a 33-point win or it's a 4-point win, like everyone's just going to jump on that bandwagon of it's either game over or the Golden State Warriors are cracking. When Oklahoma beat Golden State and looked like they had a commanding lead, everyone, Golden State's regular season doesn't mean shit. They're cracking under the pressure. And then when Golden State win a game by 20 or whatever points it was, then it's suddenly like, no one can beat this Golden State team. So it all depends on which way the tide's going, and people will jump on that. I don't care whether it was a 50-point combined lead over both of these games. I knew Golden State were going to win 1 and 2. It's now what's going to happen in Cleveland. That's where the real test starts. And it's whether, if the Cavs lose the next game, I think it could be a sweep. Yeah, but I think they're going to come out, and I would say I think they need to change something to try and win this next game.
The Warriors are just that deep.
Yeah.
And it goes to show, because it's funny how much internet reaction there is through a playoffs, and how much, once teams start to continuously win, how many people start to hate.
Yeah.
When the Heat got together, there was a lot of immaturity that went on, even from myself, because LeBron James, as a fan, went to a different team than where you wanted him to go, and then you hate that team because, LeBron's the villain. LeBron comes back to Cleveland. Now people want LeBron to win. There's a great tweet. I forget who sent it out, but it was like 2007. Really hope LeBron gets this one for Cleveland. 2010. I really hope LeBron James dies in a dumpster fire. 2016. I really hope LeBron James gets this one for Cleveland. So, and why is it like so? LeBron in the press conference, by the way, one of the reporters asked a fantastic question, and he framed it as, "You like to play team basketball. You're a facilitator of team basketball, but do you feel the need to be a little bit more selfish going back home into Cleveland?" And the reason he's asking that is because take last season when they didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love. LeBron James did more against the Warriors by himself with the help of guys like Tristan Thompson playing great in the paint and with the help of Dellavedova's great game 2, or was it game 3 where they had the Delly game and the internet freaked out, but still, like, those guys step up. The Warriors have everybody stepping up.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. Right, it was Sean Livingston in game
Harrison
1
Barnes.
who stole the show. Now Harrison Barnes and Iguodala's consistently play great defense. And in game 2, in this instance, it was Draymond Green who dropped 28 points on 5 of 8 3-point shooting, was everywhere on the court. But what I find so amazing is that if the Warriors go on to win this championship, watch how much hate the Warriors get next season. Watch how much people start to turn the tide, as you'll say, you'll use the nautical reference, if you will. Watch how the tide turns to people originally liking the Warriors and their brand of basketball to them hating everything about them. It's the same thing happened with teams like the Lakers when the Kobe Shaq era got together and they started, oh wow, watching Kobe Shaq, it's so dominant. Oh my God, then they win 2 championships and people start hating. Just respect the fact that this team might go back-to-back.
Yeah.
Respect the fact that this team has 73 wins in a regular season. Whether you like them or not, it's amazing what they're doing. And if LeBron can grab 2 wins against this team, a win against this team, so be it. His 2-5 finals record, or at best 3-4 finals record after this season, is still not going to me, doesn't take away from how great of a player LeBron James is. Mm-hmm. What the Cavs need to do as a whole, I don't think they have an answer to the Warriors' depth. Because when Steph and Klay combine for 70 points, the series is over. It just is. I don't think they're going to hold those 2 guys under the radar. And look, if the bench doesn't show up and Steph and Klay do, the series is still over.
Exactly. That's what I was saying, is that game 1 and 2 show exactly how the Golden State Warriors can win by relying on the likes of Barbosa and Harrison Barnes and Livingston in game 1, who just come up and showcase how key depth is. And they showcased it against OKC, because when Kevin Durant, when OKC were playing very well against Golden State, that was when they were relying on the likes of Adams and they're relying on Cantor to come in and pitch in points, because it's it's obviously a hard burden to try and continuously put up that many points when there's 2 key players. And the thing is, yes, there's 2 key players in Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, but they have shown that if they're not shooting well, their team can still carry them past that. Whereas the Cavs, if LeBron James, Kyrie Irving aren't combining for the majority of the points of that team, or one of them falls a little bit by the wayside, they can't win. Yeah, they can't win, and that's frustrating for them.
And just the other thing to mention is, look, there were like 100 games into the season total. These guys are tired. It's not going to look like super pretty basketball at this point. It's going to be more of a physical game. I like that the refs aren't calling that much in the first place. That's a good thing. In general, let them play. But I was rewatching the 1995-96 Bulls, and guess what? They didn't look amazing. They didn't look like their mid-season form when it came to the NBA Finals. They looked a little bit banged up. Jordan, still Jordan, but you had guys like Pippen stepping up. You had guys like Steve Kerr, who's coaching the Warriors right now, draining threes from deep. So, well, not that deep, really, from like 21.5 feet.
Compared to 28 feet.
Compared to 28 feet. Game 3 is Wednesday night in Cleveland at 6 o'clock, I think, Pacific time. I don't think I've ever given out the time before. Does LeBron James pull a win on his home court? Are the Cavs done? Is it a sweep? Let us know. Do you think it's Stephen A. Smith? It was a disgrace for the Cavs to play that way. It wasn't a disgrace, Stephen A. Smith. It wasn't the first time a team's gotten blown out in an NBA Finals game. Calm yourself. You already had to apologize to Canada. Please don't have to apologize to the good people of Cleveland too. At Francis_Maxwell, at JasonRubin91, at TYT Sports, Facebook, social media in the description box below. We'll see you there.